definitely as ready as I'm ever gonna be. So, I guess it's time for us to just let's get to it. Welcome to the Offspace Podcast. It's your host with the mother freaking most, Chuka Offer, and it's your favorite co-host, Let's Go Offer. Yeah, a lot probably looks different here. This is the first episode that I'm ever doing a solo, but B just like in a different location by myself too, recording by myself, setting up the cameras by myself. So y'all are gonna have to bear with me for a couple things. Yes, it's a little weird. I miss my nigga, of course, but I have a couple announcements for you guys just so we can give some clarity on the off space. I was gonna take a whole week off. I know that y'all fucked with the Lil Nas X episode last week and everything we were talking about, but I decided to, with the recent passing of Earl Simmons, DMX, RIP to that legend and that great, we're going to get to that for sure in this podcast. That's the main reason I'm even doing this shit right now. To be real with y'all, I decided that I was going to speak on that, B, just come on the pod and give some clarification to what's been going on as of recent, and C, just kind of talk about the future of the off space and like where we're headed, what we're looking for, and what's kind of been going on with me. So this isn't really like an update on a bunch of shit. This is kind of an episode for the fans, by the fans kind of shit. But without further ado, my past week's been pretty good, you know. I just been chilling. I handled a lot of school shit. I got insurance, which doesn't seem that cool, but it's like it's been kind of weird because once I turned 26, since I was on like as most people that know and kind of see my school journey and how debatable that's been up and down with deciding if I want it, if I need it, and then finally deciding I do need it, I do want it, and kind of deciding what majors I want, jobs, you know, a lot of discovery, which I think your 20s is about. But like when it comes to me and I really just forgot my train of thought. This is awesome. This is going to be hilarious how I'm going to find a way to do this without Ezgo. But that's my dog, and I got his blessing to continue and go on. But yeah, insurance, thank God, boom. Speaking of insurance, once you turn 26, you lose your shit. I lost mine, surprisingly, you know, like halfway through my 26th year, which was nuts because I swore I was the 1% that like beat the system. Like, oh, Chuka got this. Yeah, we're about to just have insurance until we graduate, you heard? And I'm on the precipice of graduation, so it's around the corner, yes. But now that I lost it, I was like, fuck it, I'm young. I'm going to just ride this shit out until I get a full-time professional job. And lo and behold, it's definitely, and then the pandemic hit and like all of this shit going on, boom, boom, boom. And it's been kind of just like one of those moments that I should have realized, you know, as a youth, just having parents in the medical field and just being afforded the opportunity to have great health insurance and all that shit to take more advantage of it. But B, once I lost that shit, like my mom reminding me to do my multiple times a year teeth cleanings and dentist visits and like eye shit and blah, blah, blah. Like I started to miss that stuff because it's just like really fine tuning and like oil changes for your body. I want to, if you're afforded the opportunity, be able to check on your teeth, check on your eyes, check on your body without thinking that you're gonna have to pay something crazy. But what I did learn, and I know some of this may seem like rambling, but this is what this episode really is about. What I did learn for some people out there, and this is a pro tip, just because I know a lot of people are kind of just scared to go to the hospital without insurance and things of that nature. I visited the hospital a couple times without insurance, just like regular routine checkups and things like that. That was the one thing I thought that I wasn't going to skimp on. I have nice teeth. I had plenty of contacts and like glasses. So I was like, yo, you can miss those for like a year plus until you get your next like location, job, whatever. But everything else, you're good. But like the regular routine checkups and shit, a lot of hospitals, and I will say specifically Piedmont because it's so big in Georgia, have little programs to where like people who certain income levels, but B, it's just they assume that if you're paying cash and you don't have insurance, because that is the case a lot of the times, like cash payments, they have a lot of programs that they help you, but not even programs that you have to like lower your pride and apply for. There are programs that you literally just walk in there and they will just like discount your shit like fuck. Like I went in and I got a physical STD check and like all of this extra stuff, and I promise I paid less than $100 for everything. When I had a fire health insurance, like I rarely paid a copay. Sometimes it'd be like $10-20 just depending on what it was I did and all that. But it's like to be able to make sure your body is straight, coming out less than $100 for all of these hundreds of dollars of procedures that just get discounted for paying in cash. I thought some people should know that pro tip, just in case you didn't feel like dealing with certain things sometimes, or felt like you weren't able to access these things. But without further ado, yeah, I just went on a rant about getting insurance. That's hilarious. I guess I could just talk forever. This is probably what that nigga Ezigo was talking about. Like, damn, bruh, like, you are long-winded. I'm long-winded as a motherfucker. But other than that, rekindled some friendships. I think I've been better with keeping up with people a little bit. Like, people have to have grace with me because, like, I'll get directly into the explanations. Like, this year's kind of been a weird year. And it's felt like a calm before the storm kind of thing. Like, a year that I was about to have to face a lot of my fears to get to the next level that I really wanted to get to in life, right? A year that I was kind of looking over the cliff again, metaphorically, but this time I know that jumping is going to be what gives me everything I ever wanted in life, right? Everything I'd ever desired. And I think Esgo has been having that feeling too. I think all my siblings really at about the same time, which is really dope to be able to go through things like that with a support system like I have. But I think me and Esgo, like, I want to give y'all a little bit of background on me and Esgo, since y'all can tell, like, obviously, like, we're close and, like, that's my dog, best friend, brother, all that shit. But it's like, that man is about to be 24 years old. I'm 27 years old this year. My whole adult life, like past my deviance and like acting out and shit of my late teens, my whole adult life, that has been like my other half, like the other person, like in all situations. I'm a confident person, but it's like I'll walk into rooms feeling like a 9 out of 10 at all times, no matter which room, no matter who I'm standing in front of. If I have my dog next to me, like if I have my motherfucking man, like Esgo next to me, it's like I could be in front of Jay-Z, I can be in front of Kanye, like I could be in front of whoever the fuck on this planet, and I'm still gonna feel like that nigga because I got my dog next to me, and I know he feels the same way. But sometimes in discovery in life, you start to feel like that may be a little bit of a crutch, right? Because we haven't really had to deal with life by ourselves. And I'm not saying not really have support, because I'm always going to be there to support that nigga. He's always going to be there to support me. But really, it's a weird discovery, but it's just like, it feels like this next like little period of time in our lives, like we really need to like discover ourselves and find what we need to find. And I think that has to be done alone, maybe with support from your support system. Of course, I'm going to call that nigga whenever I have problems. I almost called him with his setup today, but I was going to let him laugh at how I set it up myself without him. But yeah, that's my man. Oh, I forgot to even throw in a disclaimer and shout out for the random location. I'm at my girl's crib. I'm dog sitting for her right now just because of the fact that she had to go do makeup for a wedding with one of her homegirls, which must be really dope, to be quite honest, to be able to work with friends and get paid, like to do like dope things. But she's a makeup artist. And that's an advancement in my life that I haven't really talked about much, but it just happened so randomly at a time that I truly had no desire to like get deeper intimately with someone like that, just because I know where my life's going in terms of busyness and focus. But I also am a big proprietor of don't block your blessings. And the way God kind of put this person in my life kind of showed me that we needed each other right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like this is the first time I can honestly say, and I mean this to no negative way towards anybody else in my life, because once again, I got blindsided myself, but it's like the first time I ever feel like I've been loved correctly, which is weird, like very, very weird. But I won't gush on about all that shit, and I know she has similar feelings, so it's kind of like puzzle PC for now. But I treat everything like that Nip quote, which is, we treat everything like moments, so just enjoy them while they're here. This isn't to detriment or anything, but this is to live in the moment and really be present and really put myself in all of my situations, which I think has helped, to be honest, because that was something hard for me in the past. But yeah, I'm just dog sitting this nigga on the couch, really just like passed out. He's been watching SpongeBob all day. I'm trying to put him on to season 1 now, available on Amazon Prime. But anyway, me and that man, as a go, we need to I think he's gonna still be very around. Like the Offspace's essence is me and that nigga, and at some point, I'm sure we're gonna be co-hosts all the time again. You know, like that kind of shit. Depending on like where I go, you know, where we go. But he's gonna drop in from time to time. Our relationship is great. By the way, we had an inflection point, like all brothers do, like all family does. But like the way that it was handled showed the love, the real love we have for one another, for real. And shouts out to my family and my siblings for help through that too. But yeah, I mean, we're good. Like, we're super good. I don't want it to ever seem like, oh, the Offspace broke up or the Offspace this, the Offspace that. No, like, we're super good. Ezgo's always going to be a part. He's already talked about guest spotting, which is weird, or just not guest spotting because that seat is always his if he wants it. But like just popping back in here and there while he figures out some things for himself for the rest of the year. Because like I told y'all, that crutch we've kind of had in one another, you have to align passions when it comes to friends and business, right? And when it comes to family and business. And that motherfucker just happens to be the closest person probably to me on this planet, to be completely honest. And it's like if your passions don't match at that moment, then you have to change the expectations of that business, or else you're going to grow resentment towards one another. And that's what I'll say, because I don't want to, I know that man's more private than anything else, but he just is somebody that still is, once again, I'm 27 and he's 23, about to be 24. Like, he still wants to go see the world. He still wants to go do a bunch of dope things, which he's going to do in the capacity he wants to do, you know, because we all have different ways we want to do them. I want to go see the world and all of those things as well, but I'm more of just like a quick vacation type person. I don't want to be nowhere for more than a week, you know, like, to be real, just because I kind of like home base. I kind of like the places I've grown to call home. But yeah, I'm just excited to see, because I'm going to get lame here for a second. To some people, I think it's badass, and a tat is coming soon based on it. But it's like, I feel like there's such huge monumental change with all of my siblings right now, and like the places we are on in this world. Like, one of my siblings is about to is on the close to graduating from fucking Georgia Tech, living on her own. She's about to be driving. Like, I can't even believe that. Like, I've been babying her whole life. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy to me. Another one just became writer for R29, huge publication. Love that for her. Life leveled up immediately. Oh my goodness, I did not know writers got that much free swag. Please, I might be a writer soon. I'm gonna just start telling companies I write and see if they send me free shit, because that's what seems to work. But shouts out to her. And now Ezgo's journey of self-discovery, I'm excited to watch him go on. If you've watched One Piece, to make that anime reference, there's a moment that was 3D2Y, which was kind of 2 years and 3 days from where they all got separated. They were going to come back together, and everything they learned, how much stronger they got, like how much better they've become being out on their own and really like gathering these experiences, like, is only going to make them stronger, only going to make them better. So, I mean, that's kind of how I feel like right now. And I think that's the fear I've had all year, because I've been down all year, I'm not going to lie, but I think I've sensed some shit coming. And I think it's the fear of just being by myself, the fear of doing the shit I know I love, like hosting and like all that kind of shit. It's inspiring, and I want to say, it's gonna sound like I'm dumbing it down because of how much more I am and how much more Ezgo is as a person. So like, we all have so many passions that intersect, right? And what is crazy is, you have, like I told you beforehand, you have to make sure that if you're doing business or things with family, that the passions match at that moment. Ezgo's passion for discovery, for adventure, for inspiring the youth will never go away. And that is a pure essence of the Offspace. And my passions for like the entertainment world and being the face of something and just kind of hosting and like all of these things is why I'm able to continue. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something that I really want to do regardless. And like, when it comes to him, it's just like the more passion on him was probably more like the philanthropy and like dope content ideas. So once again, it's still gonna pop in. He's still gonna be around. We're just giving some time that we both agreed on so that we can both figure out like exactly what we're looking for on this planet. But the Offspace isn't a podcast. The Offspace isn't some fucking videos on YouTube. The Offspace is the blood, sweat, and tears of Chuka and Esgo offer, and the essence of their lives, and what we want to accomplish on this world and what we're gonna do on this world. And like, whether that means with the philanthropy side that we've started, when we're going to continue to feed the city of Atlanta, whether that means like what we want to do in other countries one day and being able to provide, whether that means being able to put people on in entertainment or put people on in other industries, just leveraging connections to help the youth, help the people, you know, just making sure that people realize you can live your life and be yourself and be rad as fuck. Like, it's cool as shit to be yourself, by the way, and you don't have to be anyone else. You don't have to copy. Like, that is the main shit for the Offspace. So once again, I'm gonna get annoyed if people keep asking if that nigga left, because he didn't, and he will happily probably pop in and say that shit himself. But without further ado, without gushing too much, I'm gonna get to the latter half of the pod. Nothing in front of me this time, no cue cards, no fucking docket for once. This is just all coming straight from my heart to you guys. Yes, I'm afraid, scared as fuck, scared of trying to make myself feel the same as when my nigga's next to me when he's not next to me. But it's like, I'm gonna give myself a little handicap. That tat's gonna help, because when I see that, I'm gonna see my dog and it's gonna be next to me at all times, whether that be my sisters or my brother or my mom, like the people that have helped push me to get to this point. My cousins, shouts out to Santo, shouts out to Zakora, just like shouts out to Nota Band, shouts out to Samachi, shouts out to everybody that really is just like around to make my life better. And I hope that in the way that everybody inspires me, like Lauren, Alex, Bree, DJ, like all my friends, Tahira, like Maggie, even all her friends, like just like how the world inspires me every day. My only goal on this planet is to make it to a point that I'm able to inspire other people the way that y'all inspire me. But that being said, I want to move on to talk about music for 1 second. And talking about music really this week is just a big RIP, condolences, and really, really a rest in fucking power to Darkman X, to DMX. DMX, if y'all haven't been paying attention, I'm not going to say the living under a rock or anything like that, because once again, we all have different things that we pay attention to in this life. Wow, damn, I sound like Esgo. I sound like I'm really trying to give grace and empathy to people when I should just be making jokes. Nah, suck my dick. If y'all haven't heard of DMX, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Nah, let me stop. I don't remember what would Easy do. But yeah, DMX had a heart attack within this past week. Lost brain function and all that within 30 minutes. Family brought him to the hospital. They did checks again on Wednesday. There was still no brain activity, brain function. I'm assuming, if I had to assume once again, that the family had to make that hard decision because his organs were failing and his body was basically a shell at that point. And seeing the way a man like that carries himself on the planet, seeing how beautiful of a soul DMX was and is still to this day, because you can still feel his essence in the world. It's like the way he touched people, like the way he inspired people, the way he showed black men, which is the most important part to me personally, because that's what was his biggest inspiration on me, is the way he showed black men that it's okay to be vulnerable, the way he would cry in front of people, the way that he would say exactly how he felt, the way he would not bite his tongue for nobody and still was embraced, still was loved, still reached the fucking top of the mountain, the pinnacle of success, diamond album, just fucking multiple number one albums in the same year. First artist all genres, by the way. These are stats I'm saying, all genres. 5 straight number one albums that were the first albums of their career. Let's just be real about the fact that just beyond the music, the man, the father, the myth, the legend of DMX will go on forever. Being able to be vulnerable will always be fucking cool. And I'm happy that he spent his life showing us that. Being able to be yourself, being able to talk about your emotions, being able to spread positivity, and being able to be real. Because that's something that I think a lot of people take for granted with a lot of this toxic positivity, a lot of this negativity, a lot of this bullshit these people have on this planet. It's okay to feel fucked up. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be mad. It's not okay to hurt your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? It's not okay to put your insecurities on others. It's not okay to like instantly take the reflection of what you don't love in you and see in the mirror and attack others for it. But it's okay, and you as a human will feel all of those feelings that lead people to doing those things. And we all fuck up. We do all fuck up, of course. Nobody is perfect. But he was a man that stood on the fact that emotions are cool. You're supposed to feel them. Everything will be okay. Sometimes it's fucking not, and it's okay. But just to love one another, love your neighbor as yourself, love peace, love prosperity, love kind words. I've just been listening to nothing but this man's music the last couple of days, but that's only, and I'm not even going to say it because I've already said my opinions, and I don't want to just focus on the negative of the people that try to make their marquee moment on the internet every time someone prominent passes. But it's like, with the negativity they'll say and shit like that, but it's like, I've been listening to this man's music to kind of fuel my soul, because ironically, a lot of the emotion I'm going through this year, a lot of the things I've been feeling, a lot of the things I've been battling with, like for these last few years, to be honest, whether it comes to, like, X would talk about imposter syndrome. He would talk about the lows. He would talk about feeling like, why the fuck did I get this? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I put here? And I haven't even done anything notable or worthwhile on this planet to what would the masses say? I mean, a lot of people come to me, and it warms my heart, don't get me wrong, and talk about inspiration, talk about all of those things that I may provide to them, but I haven't even scratched the surface of what I feel like I can be. And even then, sometimes I'll look in the mirror and ask God, like, why do I think like I do? Why am I allowed to put these pieces together? Not even on some crazy woke shit. There's just so much shit that's put in front of us in black and white that'll make the bubbliest people jaded about how dark this world can get. But I truly believe, another quote from DMX that I'm going to paraphrase because I'm not going to say it correctly, but it's just about the fact that you have to understand the darkness to be able to choose the light. Because if you don't understand both options, how can you wholeheartedly be able to choose which one suits you? And I think the pitfalls, I think the lows, oh my goodness, the fucking lows that I've gotten to, just like selfishly, not explained to anybody, and now in these last couple years through growth, better explanation, better able to talk to people, better able to be with everybody. I think those things are what X's legacy will be. And so taking those words, taking everything that he's felt, taking everything that he's seen, and taking everything that he's been, my heat check for this week is going to be fucking Wit D, just because that is personally a top 3, I'd say, DMX song to me. I don't know why. I just really, really, really fuck with the instrumental. I fuck how he's bopping on that hoe. But I want to encourage everybody who even has an inkling or a desire, everybody who's felt some of these lows, everybody who, which once again, no one's forcing anything on people, but I want to encourage everybody that has a second to really take a look into that man's catalog. I hope the Jay-Z and Beyonce news is true. Once again, like, they Hove is somebody that is once continues to be the leading candidate for my greatest of all time because of his acts and like how he carries himself as a person. And him, reportedly, it's rumored to him and Beyonce are currently trying to buy DMX's masters so that he can split it up amongst his 17 kids and just for the rest of eternity, and that they'll be able to be fed. That's beautiful to me. That's really fucking dope to me. And so, rest in peace, Dark Man X. Rest in peace, Earl Simmons. Rest in peace to DMX, however you knew him, whichever version of him you looked up to, whichever version of him inspired you. Continue pushing. But with that being said, it's like, I don't know what else to do today, you know? Like, this isn't that long of an episode. I hope y'all will bear with me. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of updates. We have something planned, me and Ezgo, actually, for some time before this year ends, so we'll give more announcements for that. But let's just say, people that have been wanting to see us cook, you may have a chance in person. Just depending if I can get the best chef in Atlanta, Chef Poppy Juice, aka Braxton Ward, to agree to work with us on it. But we'll give y'all details about that later. I'm going to be making the Offspace a lot more collaborative. I'm going to be working a little bit like this some weeks, just because I think that a skill I should be able to have truly if I want to be in this kind of industry, whether it be on stage hostings or hosting shows, hosting podcasts, like whatever, or just wherever linguistics takes me when it comes to just being able to have the gift of the gab or being able to vocalize, flip your words. I'm going to make it a lot more collaborative though. There are going to be some solo episodes where I teach myself kind of how to carry a show by myself, but which is going to be an interesting skill. I hope y'all are excited to be along for that ride, as excited as I am to go through it. But another thing that's going to be really dope and really interesting to me is with the collaboration side. I can't wait to get y'all motherfuckers on here, because whether it be people we've already had on the pod, whether it be some of my homegirls I think we need to have on here, I really hope Who Can Know For Sure will come on, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's time to just make this shit what me and Esgo's been trying to make this shit and about the people. I think it's just trying to get whoever I think is rad or just has dope opinions I can kick it with, or is just passionate about something. I'm going to try to start getting on the show, and we're going to probably have more hosts every single week. If not, some episodes might just be me, which I hope is okay. We'll see how the people react. Really, I'm just gonna see how Ezego fucks with this shit, to be honest. And then that'll be my boost to keep it going. But for now, until next week, until really a few days from now, because I'm gonna keep the whole schedule going, I just thought I'd give y'all something this week. Rest in peace, DMX. My name is Chuka. My name's Ezego. And this is the Offspace.